Okay, Scorpio. Now, I know I mentioned this as my sun sign series, but really, if you have any placements in Scorpio, you will probably resonate with this because astrology and your birth chart is much more complex than just your sun sign. And so you could probably see some of these traits if you, again, have any placements or planets in Scorpio. Now, if you don't know, I am an astrologer. I do study also numerology. I do it all whenever it comes to this kind of stuff, talking to clients about every single thing about the stars and things like that. I am a Scorpio rising, so if you are somebody again who has this as maybe your rising sign, you'll probably resonate. I definitely resonate with a lot of scorpionic traits. I love Scorpios in general, and I will say Scorpio 1,000 times, but let's get to the point. Okay, remember, Scorpio is a water sign. And water energy tends to draw people in a lot. A lot of times when people have water energy, they're like, I don't know why people are coming up to me. I don't know why strangers are just approaching me at the grocery store or whatever. Scorpio can draw people in more on that darker side of water, that murky water. Scorpio will bring people in who need to confess their secrets or tell things that are maybe taboo, maybe talking about sex. Remember, Scorpio does rule over the reproductive organs. Every zodiac sign rules a different body part. That's why Scorpio has a stereotype of being highly sexual. Now, it does not mean that they are, but they can be very alluring in that sense. Maybe they have something that really draws people in. Maybe they have something about them that is very magnetic, literally sexy about them, that people are like, ooh, like you're so mysterious. Like, what do you have going on over there? A lot of times, Scorpio energy, they don't like to look at people in the eyes, or they do because they know that that can also draw people in as well. But if you have a Scorpio energy, you can again draw people in who want to just tell you stuff. They confess things to you, and it's not something that's just so like terrible. It doesn't have to be like bad or anything like that. But I do get a lot of clients, of course, who are also scorpionic, and so they have things about them that they just don't feel like they're comfortable telling just anyone. And so a lot of times Scorpio can tell other Scorpios about what they got going on because Scorpio is also privacy. It's also secrecy, but secrecy in the sense of like, this is good between us. Everybody doesn't have to know that you hate your boss. Like you could just tell me and I won't tell anyone else. That's just that scorpionic energy. Also life can bring you situations that revolve around scorpionic themes. Now, Scorpio is known for, again, like I said, the privacy, the secrecy. So you yourself can experience that with other people. A lot of times when people do experience those kind of things, that is why they also develop that mistrust. Now, Scorpio is also known for being like a non-trusting energy. So life will give you a situation where maybe somebody will betray you or lie to you or just do you dirty. And you're like, see, that's why I don't trust people. This is why I don't XYZ. Now, with that said, and this is what I told my last client, very young client, early 20s. I'm like, you just have to understand that when these things happen, it is also for you to kind of strengthen your intuition, strengthen that part of you that feels it inside. Because a lot of times people have water energy, they feel something, but they're just like, I don't know. And especially when you're unaware of why you have that feeling, a lot of times people have been made out to seem like they're crazy for, again, having that intuition of knowing ahead of time of what's going on. Again, Scorpio does tap into the unknown, things like astrology, things like the occult, things that are hidden. So a lot of times when people have scorpionic energy too, they can be really good detectives because they're really good at researching things as well. A lot of times when I do see clients with scorpionic energy, I ask them, do you think you're really good at researching something or finding things out or digging until you find the actual truth too? That is something that, they're like, you know what? Yes, I am. And it sounds like, oh, that's everybody, but it's not everybody. Okay. It is not everybody. That's why there are certain people who can be detectives or, in forensics or, something that requires investigation, even like archaeology, just digging and researching and finding the truth. That is also something that is seen with scorpionic energy. Now, Scorpio can also deal with a lot of transformative experiences in life, like transformation, unexpected, sudden things can happen with Scorpio energy to where you literally have to transform. Maybe you go through like a crazy breakup and then now you want to get back in the gym. Your body transforms because of the negativity. A lot of times Scorpio can transform off of negative situations or what seems like negative to, a lot of people. You could lose someone. But also too, and this is why I always tell people like there's no right or wrong way to deliver information. There's no right or wrong way to really do anything because a lot of times people need those kind of things as a catalyst. So if somebody tells you like, "Oh, you need to lose some weight or whatever," and you're like, "Oh yeah, whatever," because Scorpio is ruled by Mars and Mars is energy, also competition too. It also naturally rules over Aries as well. So Scorpio energy can be like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna prove you wrong." And they can transform that way. A lot of times, big things don't happen in their life until they go down to the deep, dark pits of, whatever in their mind, because it's not a physical place, but in your mind. And then you're like, you know what? Something has to change. There has to be that catalyst for transformation. That is why Scorpio is also modern day ruler Pluto, death and rebirth, life and death, or they call it life and death. Cannot actually be, it doesn't have to be a physical death, but literally like the old you is no longer there anymore, and now there is a new you that has rebirth. It's literally like the rise of the phoenix too. Do you believe I'm not off the top of my head of the dates, but October, November, for Scorpio, the end of October and early in the mid-November to where if your birthday's fallen there, you could be a Scorpio sun. Um, I did mention, oh, it's also a fixed sign. Fixed signs are can be stubborn. It's sitting right there in the middle of a season. Fall time is when, Scorpio season. That's why a lot of times too, people like Halloween. They enjoy Halloween. If you have Scorpio energy, you can really like Halloween because that's literally your season. Also, too, that fixed energy, like I was mentioning earlier, can be very stubborn as well. Scorpio is known for being passionate, being possessive sometimes. It can be jealous sometimes, but it's more possessive with emotions. The sister sign of Scorpio is Taurus, and Taurus is more possessive over like things. Like, this is my stuff, don't take it away. I don't know if you've seen hoarders, but people who can really hold on to stuff that is like Taurian energy, but then Scorpio, its sister sign, is more possessive over like emotions, especially in relationship. That is a big, big thing. I had a client, don't know if he's watching this, but he had a lot of Scorpio placements, like a lot. And I was asking him just generally, like, how are you in relationship? And he's like, well, when you're mine, you're mine. Like, you're mine. So that possessiveness can come through Scorpionic energy too. But again, very devoted, very loyal, because if you're like, this is mine, you're probably reciprocating that energy back. Like, I'm yours too. So, don't look at it as like, people think that Scorpio energy is like all about cheating or lies or scandals or things like that. Now, you can, maybe attract those situations, but it doesn't mean that that person is like that. You'd have to look at the entire birth chart to kind of see somebody's behavior. But again, you can be like that too. Water energy, like I said, is more sensitive, it's more emotional. So a lot of times too, when people have scorpionic energy, they can also, even in relationship with your family or romantic, maybe can also act as a therapist because it's digging for the truth. It's asking the why, and it wants you to change for the better too. I do believe I kind of covered everything. Yeah, the modality, the body part, some of the traits, what you can naturally attract. Of course, with again with Scorpio energy in all signs, whatever it is that you have about you, if you are a majority of one thing, like you literally embody all those kind of traits. So again, if you have Scorpio anywhere in your chart, sun, moon, rising, Mars, Venus, whatever, and if you've seen these traits about you, go ahead and comment below and let me know, okay? I thank y'all so much for supporting and watching. I know I'm trying to be as consistent as I can, okay? I'm doing my best. But if you would like a full in-depth analysis of your actual birth chart, if you like a one-on-one session with me, we can talk about anything and all things. I know my website has a lot of stuff on there, and I could have way more, but I don't want to overwhelm people with options. But you can go ahead and book through my site. I'll send you an email. And then we can talk one-on-one. But I thank you so much for supporting and commenting and liking and sharing and all of that. I don't care if it's a middle finger emoji. We need some interaction, y'all. So thank y'all so much, and I will talk to y'all soon.